Has anybody got a match? Thanks. Now I can light an old gold for a treat instead of a treatment and listen to songs by Sinatra.
Night and day, you are the one, only you neath the moon or under the sun. Hello, neighbors. Hi, boys and girls. It's Old Gold Night again, and on this young December evening, we're all set to convene the snow chapter of our singing society by reading in some new songs and new members. Meet these three gifted characters who do it with piano, bass, and guitar, and go under the name of the Cavanaugh Trio. And, of course, those faithful old watchmen of the night who walk their beat four abreast, the Pied Pipers.
Night and day. Under the hide of me.
Then, too, behind the walls of our snow fort, we have that gifted glamour gal of old Gotham, Miss Peggy Mann, plus a hefty arsenal of tunes, including something old and something new, with the letter P standing, as usual, for plus and perfection for the great music of Axel Stordahl and C.O. Away. The whole world is singing my song, but I sing it only to you. The whole world is humming along. I love you, I love you, I do. You put my dreams to music. I learned how a song could start. I gave the world the music, but I gave you my heart. The whole world is singing my song, but I'll always sing it to you. You put my dreams to music. I learned how a song could start. I gave the world the music, but I gave you my heart. The whole world is singing my song, but I'll always sing it to you. Keep it cooking, Ax. You can't run a rhythm into a romance on just one tune, you know. That does it, kids. Here's one you can wrap those manly arms around, one you can say soft things about and sigh gently about. Sing and let it snow about. Sing and let the song say it all about. Hearts are gay when they play at pretending. If you're blue, why don't you try pretending? After all, aren't we all idle schemers? What is life but a world full of dreamers? You're not poor, not when you're make-believing. So when you have blue moments to spend, close your eyes and you'll see surprised you will be if you will just And now, neighbors, here's that gleam in the tobacco man's eye. Old Gold's Danny Seymour to prove to you that all that glisters is not gold or something.
Maybe we should have studied medicine. Maybe we should have bought ourselves a cute little laboratory full of gadgets and test tubes and stuff like that. Then we could have come to you with a fancy story about old Gold's, about cigarette laboratory tests and medical claims about smoking and throat irritation. But listen, friends, we're tobacco men, not medicine men.
You're so right.
We've got a story about old Gold's, all right, but it's a story of tobaccos, the finest tobaccos money can buy, blended by folks who've been associated with the best in quality tobaccos for nearly 200 years. When we ask you to smoke an old Gold, we don't want you to doctor yourself or to compare yourself to a guinea pig. We want to give you pleasure, real, honest-to-goodness tobacco pleasure. And by golly, every modern technique known to tobacco science is concentrated on one thing in an old Gold, to give you a cigarette that's absolutely the last word in rich, mellow, deep smoking enjoyment. Sure, take care of yourself and your throat and everything else. But listen, we're talking about pleasure now, and that's why we say anytime you want to smoke for the grand fun of it, anytime you want a treat instead of a treatment, treat yourself to a pack of old Golds.
Yes, sir, it's as simple as that, neighbors. Anytime you want a treat instead of a treatment, oh, geez. Lover, when I'm near you and I hear you say my name. Yes, friends, Lover is back, and just to prove to you that a few years haven't harmed one hair on his handsome Borsalino, the Pied Pipers will now rise and give tuneful testimony that he is as sharp a character as ever got in the way of the best quartet that ever ran away from a barber shop. Pipes, oh, gold it, kids.
Lover, when I'm near you and I hear you speak my name, softly in my ear you breathe a flame. Lover, when we're out dancing, please keep on glancing in my eyes till love's own entrancing music dies. All of my future is in you. You're every plan I design. Promise you'll always continue to be mine. Lover, won't you please be tender? For when you're tender, my fears depart. Oh, lover, I surrender to my heart. If you leave me or deceive me, what will I do? Lover, I'm so in love with you, in love with you.
That mellow stuff that you hear in Neighbors is the kind of rhythm that's making this new sound into a sensation. Each night around the witching hour, when we burn the midnight oil in the interest of song over at the Waldorf Astoria's Wedgwood Room, these three kids fill the ears of the customers with as pleasant a noise as ever came from a piano, stringed bass, and guitar. They've started putting their new sound together in the Army, and it sure looks like their cleverness and originality is going to take them upstairs and make Old Man Rhythm move right over. So here they are, the Page Cavanaugh Trio in Body and Soul. That's great, kids. You've topped your introduction. See me over at the Wedge Room later on. I'll put you in touch with a small beer. Yes, neighbors, we've all heard these songs before, and that's why they're sitting up here on the stands tonight. There are two wonderful reasons why it's family fun to dig through old trunks and explore old attics. Why you get to feel like Columbus when you pull their tattered copies from under the piano bench. Why, too, you're liable to feel warm and as good as if yesterday's sun was shining. Or drop a quick tear for those memories that come laughing in and make old fun bright and shining again. Anyway, maybe they'll do something nice for you, too. So here they are. Little Lily was oh so silly and shy, and all the fellows knew she wouldn't bill and coo. Every single night some smart fellow would try to cuddle up to her, but she would cry. Ma, he's making eyes at me. Ma, he's awfully nice to me. Ma, he's almost breaking my heart. I'm beside him. Mercy, let his conscience guide him. Ma, he wants to marry me. Be my honeybee. Every minute he gets bolder. Now he's leaning on my shoulder. Ma, he's kissing me. Hey, Ma, he wants to marry me. to be my honey bee. I am meeting with resistance. Shall I holler for assistance, Ma? He's kissing me. This one came down near the bottom of the pile, but it'll stay up on top for a long time, I'm sure. It's too good. Boy of mine, boy of mine, although my heart was aching, I seem to know you'd want to go. Pride in your manhood waking. I'll be here waiting, dear, till at a glad dawn's breaking I'll hear you say you're home to stay, dear little boy of mine, dear little boy of Did they do anything for you, neighbors? Maybe you'd better take a look under your own piano benches and get out those old stacks of music. There sure is gold in them tunes. Old gold. Around here, friends, where old roads wander through the colonies and kids do some of their homework through the flickering light of a fellow jukebox, you will often find little groups of patriots lending an ear to the gifted threshing of one of Pappy Knickerbocker's more talented gals. Whether she's going round and round on a platter, shining under the electrical moon of some white tie spot, or a plover sticking before a microphone, she sure manages to do a wonderful unladylike things to a song. Here she is, Miss Peggy Mann. Put your
Give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. Let me stay in your arms. Here am I begging for only 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more of your charm. Evening seemed to go so awfully fast. We had so much fun, and now you're home at last. I look forward to a kiss or two at the garden gate, but you gave me just one peck and insisted it was late. All week long I dreamed about our Saturday day. Don't you know that Sunday morning you can sleep late? Give me 5 minutes more,
Grand, Peggy, simply grand. You sure old golded that one.
Oh, thanks, Frank. You mean I'm a T instead of a T?
You're a G instead of a G.
Oh, what's a G instead of a G?
Grand instead of gruesome. Yak-a-dandy.
Speaking of T's, will you come into my parlor and bend a pinky with me?
Oh, move over, Curly. We'll dish up the oolong in our old gold daily double. Axel, you're pouring, kid. I'm discontented with homes that are rented, so I have invented my own.
Darling, this place is a lover's oasis, where life's weary chance is unknown.
Far from the cry of the city, where flowers pity the restless spring.
Oh, did you hiding, we live side by side, so long apart in my dreams.
Picture you upon my knees, just tea for two and two for tea, just me for you and you for me alone.
Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations.
We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone.
Day will break and I'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake
For me to take, for all the boys to see. A boy for you and a girl for me.
Can't you see how happy we would be?
I feel like blushing.
Oh, come on.
You know why? I'm about to ask you to try a certain cigarette, and I'm not going to say a single word about cigarette tests. I'm not going to make a single statement backed up by a medical authority. I'm not even going to mention throat irritation. All I'm going to do is promise you pleasure, tobacco pleasure. So, here goes. Folks, just try Old Golds. We promise you a sheer miracle of taste and flavor in every Old Gold you put to your lips. We promise you the marvelous pleasure of rich, mellow smoke rolling luxuriously over your tongue. So just try an Old Gold cigarette. Then you'll know why we've been saying all along, if you want a treat instead of a treatment, treat yourself to Old Golds. Ask for them at your tobacco counters. Look for them in the cigarette vending machines.
One of December's brightest roads is that shining, busy, make-believe street of the theater. Winter snow only gives sparkle to the scene and zest to the occasion. A time of new arrivals, of great expectations, of opening nights, and a time for star-making and historic successes, of hearts and hopes rising on velvet curtains, of bright new faces in ancient settings, a brisk, a blood-warming, in a beautiful world this December in the year of show business. A better world for a stick of grease paint. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything that traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even with a turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. The butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk are secretly unhappy men because the butcher, the baker, the grocer, the clerk get paid for what they do, but no applause. They'd gladly bid their dreary jobs goodbye for anything theatrical and wild. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything that traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even with a turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. And you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. Well, sir, it's time to see the hat check girl and wind up our part of Wednesday night with you, neighbors. We hope you get around to our corner next Wednesday evening for another OG session. A real treat instead of a treatment when our old friend and spiritual advisor, Fred Allen, comes over to cut up a few touches. See you then, neighbors, and in the meantime, have fun and... Oh. Good night, Junior. Good night, Nancy. Good night, neighbors.
Next Wednesday and every Wednesday is the night for Songs by Sinatra, presented by P. Lorillard Company, a great name in tobaccos for nearly 200 years, and makers of Old Gold cigarettes, the treasure of them all. Don't forget next week, it's Frank and his guest, Fred Allen. The Frank Sinatra Show is written by Frank Wilson and produced and directed for Old Gold by Man Hollander. Dan Seymour speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.